Hey guys, so I have three life advice comments to give you if you go home and come back or go back to the home that you stay at the majority of the time, if that makes sense. I think a lot of us or those that are watching might travel more than any other generation, and so you are traveling from home base to other places, but also home base to where your parents are. And I have three life advice comments for you. So number one is spend time with your parents or family member or the people you deem your family when you visit them 100% of your attention, because your time with them is itty bitty very short. I think people take for granted that people are alive, people are interested, people are listening, and they are. And so a lot of us with phones at our disposal, we are talking to people not there, not around, work. And I'm not saying those things aren't important, they are, but just try being with the older generation or the people that are there for you, welcoming you, because there's a chance, no matter their age, they want your full attention, and they kind of deserve it because they are your family, which means they're putting a lot into you. They're excited to see you, and they want to cherish that small moment with them. Second advice is, if possible, do some local shopping to remember where you're from or to remember your family. For me, I like to... Actually, let me backtrack real quick. Back to point number one. I went back to New York, which is my home city, as some of you may know, and celebrated my grandmother's birthday. She turned 96. It wasn't her birthday. When I arrived, but I think it is important to celebrate someone who's older or someone you love all the time. And so when you can, celebrate. Went to get a hair perm. I didn't just hang out with her, hung out with my family as well, immediate. And we ate, played cards, hung out, went to Chelsea Market, all fun things. And I think that's important to make memories every time you're visiting family, whoever that may be for you. Fast forward to point two. I think getting something that reminds you of your hometown, area, city is really, really fun for me. I don't always get something, but this time I did get not on purpose, I guess, a stuffed animal from Coney Island. I don't think it would be that cool to bring a stuffed animal back all the time. I do collect stuffed animals, but that's not the point. I guess what I did bring back was an article of clothing. New York City is home to really great fashion, and it would be silly if I didn't come back with something great. It's actually a really difficult piece to work with because it is basically UPS brown, but I'm gonna work with it and figure it out. Probably mixing it up with jewelry. And anyways, every time I think about it, I'm gonna think about being with my family because, well, my mother bought it for me and we were shopping and it was a good time. Now to the third and final point, thank you all for sticking around, is to, if possible, bring back some food. as you can see, I have my classic broccoli that if you watch my videos, know I eat often. I just love, not necessarily broccoli, but it's the most easiest thing that I know how to cook. Easiest thing I can obtain and cook within where I live. And I fly, but if you're taking a car or a bus or a train or a plane, you are able to bring food if you make room for it. And me, I like making space, not necessarily for clothes, as you know I'm a minimalist, but making space for memories. And food is a core memory, in my opinion. And so I already eaten a lot of it, but I thought about this video and I thought about you while I was eating it. And so broccoli, I added my zhengzi leaf rice. It is one of my favorite ones. If you've seen all of my shorts, you know that this particular one, actually I might not have recorded this one. I'll record another one about nuts, peanuts. Wasn't a fan, but this one, huge fan. It has basically these like yellow things, which is a bean, unlike peanuts, and it's so nice. It kind of acts like a mashed potato kind of consistency. There's meat in here, duck, egg. I guess they're both meat, but meat, I mean like there's pork, sometimes chicken. This one has egg, and there's corn and rice. So 5 to 6 things in this particular one. I think depending on where you go, it ranges from $3 to $6, but I'm gonna have to fact check myself. Really amazing. You can get a zhengzi that's filling and awesome. So when you land, you have a home cook / home feeling dish for yourself. I don't always recommend it, depends on the food, but I like to freeze it or have it frozen overnight and then put in a Ziploc bag and then put in another bag, because it does get does emit or encourage condensation, and so your items in your backpack might get wet, but if you put a bag in a bag, typically it helps. If you have anything super important that shouldn't get wet, it probably shouldn't be near your food, but that's fairly foolish proof. And so yeah, if possible, get yourself some homemade food, bring it back home, or something else that reminds you of home. And it's kind of like a hack. It'll increase your vacation by a day or 2, or if you're me, probably by 5. Not 10, sometimes 10, but mainly 5. Hope that helps when you go home once in a while. Have a great day.